we'll see where Team Super stops. Because they got a lot of players. He is now General Crank. God. Meanwhile, here we go. We are finally in our next series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres ALE, we have our Colombian Zerg player representing Infernales Esports. It is eGGz. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres ALE, we have the best Protoss player in all of Latino America, representing his brand new team, Team Super. It is Pacomike. Paquito. Mate, this is a classic matchup. I remember casting Pacomike versus eGGz like 2 years ago with Yoda Slim. You know, Yoda Slim and I, like, we cast a lot of Sentimiento Latino together, a lot of Battle of the Americas together, and these two were always some of the best. They were known as, or I called them like the Cham Killers, because back then in Battle of the Americas, Cham would win every single week, but eGGz and Pacomike, there was 1 week each, 1 week where they stopped Cham. It didn't happen all the time, but every now and then, like once a year, once every 6 months, they would beat Cham. And it was like, oh my god. And it was crazy whenever that would happen. So yeah, they're both amazing players. They can take it to someone like Cham on a good day, on the best day for them, on the worst day for Cham. But how do they compare against each other, especially in 2022? You know, we're in a period where both eGGz and Pacomike had a lot of downtime at the start of the year. Pacomike, he got a full-time job. eGGz has been focusing on his studies. So they both put StarCraft on a bit of a back burner. But in the last month and a half, they have both actually been practicing a lot more StarCraft. eGGz, he's been streaming a lot of ladder sessions. He's been streaming on, he's been laddering on EU, on Europe. That's pretty sick. Has been helping out a lot in that respect. And Pacomike got a new team. He's on Team Super now, so I'm sure he's got a fat paycheck. Team Super, they got a lot of money to spend, and Pacomike's all about that. He's all about that. So yeah, they both now have their own incentives, so it's great to see them return. But how good are they against each other? That's a good question, because Pacomike, he is not opening up with the Stargate. Oh my god. Crazy. Good luck, Quaxal. Hello, Soko. Thank you so much, Soko. I'm just quickly checking. Thank you for the donation. I think that was a donation. Hold on. Oh god. I think I have to go to Streamlabs to check that. Every time. Aye. But yes, thank you, Soko. Thank you. Torilla. We appreciate it. And yo, this is not gonna be for Glaven Apps. I was like, okay, we got a Twilight Guns opener. What is this for? It is for that Dark Shrine. So we're gonna be seeing a DT drop. Pacomike has been doing this a lot. Fun fact, he did this against Jim Rising last week. And I don't think it worked. I think Jim Rising kind of had his way with him. But eGGz, he's going for an Overlord Scout. Unfortunately, because there's no Stargate, there's no Void Ray, so there's nothing to stop this. The Stalker is in position at the natural base. Lings are looking to find a way in. Stalker will come out and deal with the Overlord, but a little bit too late. Pacomike sees everything. He sees the Dark Shrine. Oh. Damn. And yeah, now eGGz, he can start preparing at home. There we go. We already have Spores on the way. We have a Roach Warren on the way as well. The likelihood of DTs dealing damage isn't very high, to be honest. Instead, he has to work on Stream Elements. That's it. Instead, he's gonna have to work on something else. He's gonna have to, of course, the follow-up Archon drop can deal a lot of damage. It can be very annoying as well, but the surprise factor of DTs won't just end the game. It shouldn't end the game. Big shouldn't. I don't know. I think we saw Prince. Was it Prince? Or was it No, it was the other Protoss player. Nightmare. It was Nightmare who opened up in GSL. He opened up with DTs and he hit a timing where he killed the Roach Warren, which was pretty insane. It's not something you see too often. Oh god. Oh yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do have a little bit of a ling run by here. Looking to deny the third base is only a single adept, so maybe he can overwhelm this. We're going to need another warp in. At the same time, we do have 4 DTs going to the main base. I am shocked that Pacomike hasn't morphed these into Archons yet. He's still trying to make the DTs work, and maybe they will. The Spore is looking a little bit exposed, but eGGz, he sees the Warp Prism. He's repositioning at the same time. Oh, I had a little bit of damage here on the right-hand side. DTs do get a queen, but only 1 queen. And yo, DTs to defend. The Lings actually didn't force a cancel. They killed a pylon, sure, but that's all they did. So honestly, Pacomike has been able to transition relatively nicely. He holds onto his third base. He keeps eGGz back at home. He delays any kind of fourth base. So Pacomike is able to transition nicely from here. Where are we going from here? Blink and +1. Forge was thrown down. We are seeing a Blink Stalker transition. Blink Stalkers have become so popular recently, and they work really well. Like, ground toss is amazing. It can be amazing, I should say. Seen a lot of Zerg players struggle. Is eGGz going to be one of those? I believe he won't. Archons again doing what they can, but we have Roaches to meet them. Oh, can he get the queen? Oh, one of us. He will not get the... Oh my god, he will not get the queen, and a little bit of miss micro there from Pacomike. He loses an Archon and could even lose a second. Oh, has to be so careful. Pacomike being a little bit too greedy there in the end. Host. Thank you for the host. Thank you. It didn't show on the notifications for me. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But thank you for the host. We appreciate it. And eGGz is kind of throwing everything down. I'm a little bit worried about this. He's going for a Spire and a Hydra Den at the same time. They both have their place. Usually you invest in one of them. Like, a Spire is great to go into like a handful of mutas to harass and shut down the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism is being very annoying. But at the same time, we already have Archons, so mutas in the main army just aren't going to be amazing. Oh boy. Okay. At the same time, okay, a couple of Roaches do harass across the map. There are shield batteries, there's overcharge. Roaches probably aren't going to do too much. Oh, they pick up a couple of probes. Not bad. Only 2 for now, as they're going to get cleaned up. And in comes that main army. We only have Roach Ravager, no Lings in sight. Is this going to really work against all these force fields? Oh, we'll see. Force fields are looking pretty damn good, but the Ravager, the Biles do eliminate them as soon as possible. But the Immortals are still dishing out so much damage. Like, this Stalker push, oh god. Is the timing going to work out for him? It may not. It looks like we're actually running out of force field energy. We have enough for maybe a handful more, and that is it. So instead, Pacomike, he backs off. He goes for the 4th base. Force fields are thrown down, but oh my god, the Immortals are exposed. And it looks like eGGz is going to be able to clean all of this up. We are going to have a warping of reinforcements, but the Biles do connect with the Warp Prism. eGGz, oh my god, he shuts this down completely. I didn't realize like how little energy was left on the sentries. And Pacomike, I'm sure he's dreading, or he's hating the fact that he tried to keep going towards that 3rd base. If he had gone for the 4th to begin with, he probably would have been able to kill it. But now eGGz, he holds on, and where are we going from here? He's still going for the Muta hit squad, by the way. 5 mutas are enough to one-shot probes, even if you lose 1. So 5 mutas are ideal, and then we're switching into these Hydras. I don't know how I feel about going for a Spire just for 5 mutas. He's also getting +1 air attack, so I'm a little bit confused. Maybe again he's just, you know, he wants to be a little bit fluid, and depending on what he scouts, he's going to decide whether he wants to go mass muta or going to Hydras and Lurkers. He scouts disruptors. That may be a tell for him to go into those mutas, but there's still a lot of Blink Stalkers as well. Oh, +2 is on the way. I don't know if you really want to invest in mutas here. We'll see. Mass Muta, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. As eGGz kind of repositions and heads towards his third base again, Pacomike turns around. Ay. Completely caught out of position. Thankfully, there is a recall, so he won't lose too much here. But at least he does keep Pacomike at home as those mutas are coming across the map. Not bad. 5 probes for the time being. Not a bad start. Meanwhile, the rest of the army is repositioning to head on over towards his 4th base. Again, Pacomike is having a really hard time responding to all of this. He's trying to keep up, and he will keep up with the main army, but the mutas are still wreaking havoc. It looks like these stalkers are enough to force them back though, and this is why I'm really concerned, because 6 probe kills is not enough to pay for all these mutas. Like, they need to get more damage done, and 4, that's looking much better. 10 probes in total. Oh my god. And he's not stopping, by the way. He's not stopping. We need cannons. We need shield batteries. We need some stacked defense here. The mutas are finally forced back. But the amount of probes they've got, and they're still gonna get more. Oh my god. eGGz, please. You're not Jim. But maybe he is. Maybe he is. Has 14 probes in total go down. And they're gonna force Pacomike across the map. Oh my god! But Pacomike's ground army is still insane. He's got 3 disruptors. He's still got 2 Novas in his back pocket. We got Hydra. We got Roach Hydra, which again isn't ideal. Pacomike is gonna get this base. There's no way. There's no way. eGGz is gonna try to hold on. Oh god! Not like this. Takes another disruptor shot to the face. And after all said and done, I'm a little bit surprised by something. I'm shocked that eGGz's drone count isn't very high. He's actually barely got 60 workers. At this point, yeah, he should double expand. Like, he is a little bit behind. He needs a 4th base, not just a 4th, he needs a 5th. Bearing in mind that Pacomike has been on 4 base economy this entire time. This is what I'm worried about. It's great that eGGz was counterattacking and dealing all this harassment damage. But he didn't have a good economy behind it. Like, because of that, he was keeping himself even by dealing all that damage, not getting ahead. Oh god. Even more probes are going down. Like, eGGz, his economy just can't sustain this. Like, Pacomike, he's getting out of control. He's gotten out of control. We do see that maybe eGGz has a bit of a more sophisticated army with Lings and Hydras and soon to be Vipers. But he just doesn't have the numbers right now. And just like that, despite double expanding, eGGz, he almost loses 2 bases. Does barely keep the base on the left hand side alive, but it is crucial that he keeps his hatchery alive. The Vipers need more time. Yoinks are not ready. The Vipers are desperately trying to stuck on this hatchery. Ay. Hatchery's getting pretty low. eGGz was helping him out. Yep, hatchery goes down. We do see him abduct on the Immortal, but we need them on the disruptors. eGGz knocked back down to 3 bases. Ay. It's one of those things where he was just tunnel visioning too much across the map. Oh god. He should hold on to this base? Question mark? He does barely. Oh god. But Pacomike just has so much money to work with. Thankfully for eGGz, he's not going towards Sky Toss. I do think that like transitioning into carriers or something like that may just end the game. He's instead going towards Templar Archives. There we go. Stargates are being thrown down, but these Stargates are a little bit late. So like eGGz doesn't have to worry about the Sky Toss transition yet. And he has all these Vipers. He's going all in, by the way. He's trying to double expand. These bases will not finish, but maybe he can win here and now if he gets on top of the production. Here we go. He borrows his lurkers on the high grounds. He's 4. Oh my god, the blinding clouds are thrown down as well. They have the Novas. They get yoinked. Let's go. Every single disruptor gets yoinked. That is it. But Pacomike may just have overwhelming numbers anyway. Who needs disruptors? Who needs Sky Toss units when you have Blink Stalkers? We see the blink on forward. He actually doesn't have detection. So the lurkers deal more damage than they should. But eGGz has run out of steam. All we need is an observer. Pacomike, he does get an observer in the end, and with the observer, Pacomike just has too much. He overwhelms the army of eGGz. This was a great fight for eGGz. He traded better than he really should have, but he was all in. He was 100% all in, and with this, Pacomike will clean up the entire army. GG gets called, and Pacomike will take game number 1. Miko Pike. God damn it, the stand. Oh god. But what a game there. What a game. Again, eGGz was very impressive with his Muta Harass. Not so impressive when it came to his economy though. Again, he needed a faster 5th base, he needed more drones. I've seen this happen to eGGz more than once. I don't know if it's worth going to the Spire like that, because when you have such a low economy to begin with, spending all that gas on those mutas, obviously it hurts your main army, and it means you're so vulnerable to a counterattack. I'm pretty sure this happened the last time we casted eGGz. It may have even been against Pacomike actually, because I'm getting deja vu. We've been here before. Oof. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I like pronouncing it. Tempest? Oh god. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have our Colombian Zerg player currently down in this series, but not out. Representing Infernales Esports, it is eGGz. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have our Mexican Protoss player representing Team Super, his brand new team. It is Pacomike. Oh. Here we go. And that was all off of the back of a DT opener as well. And the DT opener wasn't too bad, right? He got 2 queens with it in the end. Defended his 3rd base. Delayed any kind of aggression and counterattacks from eGGz. It wasn't bad, it wasn't bad. Despite being scouted. I think that's the most impressive thing. More often than not, when you go for a Twilight Council into a Dark Shrine, even if it gets scouted, you can deal damage, and you can still you're still fine. You can't end the game and you can't deal critical damage, but that's fine. It's perfectly fine as a Protoss player. And we'll see where we go here on Curious Minds. I'll be shocked if we see a Stargate opener. I don't think that would be a wise choice here on Curious Minds. I don't think it's necessary either. The meta has shifted enough where Stargate openers aren't necessary anymore. They aren't compulsory. Pacomike, he can go into Fast Blink Stalkers again. He can go into Glaive Adepts if he wants. We've seen him do that a couple of times already. We'll see. The world is his oyster. GG. Oh god. Oh, Paquito, he only needs one more, mate. Only needs one more to move on to the next round. To the semifinals even. My god. And he actually does go for a Stargate opener. So I'm a little bit surprised by this. I'll be even more surprised if there's a second Stargate behind this. There's no way. There's that. Actually, I have to remember that Queen Walks aren't a thing anymore. And that was the scariest thing about Curious Minds. The scariest thing was the Queen Walk. Without the Queen Walk, can Protoss players go for a Stargate opener and expand and take this 3rd base at a good time? Maybe they can now. Oh boy, we're in a new era. F's in the chat for the Queen Walk. As we do see an Oracle first coming out here from Pacomike. Again, makes plenty of sense to harass across the map. Behind this Oracle, we should probably see a Void Ray to help clean up all these Overlords. Pacomike is a little bit less concerned about denying scouting and more concerned about dealing damage. As the two Adepts are denied for the time being. Trying to find their way in. And eGGz, oh my god. eGGz went for a very fast Roach Horn. I was a little bit too preoccupied looking at Pacomike, but eGGz, he's already got roaches coming across the map. Pacomike, he did recall back home. What do we have at home to defend? We have a second pylon. We need some shield batteries, puppy. Oh my god, I don't think he saw the roaches, and he never got into the main base to scout. Oracle's going across the map, but we need defenses at home. eGGz is going all in. Oh god, no, there's nothing here. There's actually nothing here. There's no shield batteries at all. There's no overcharge. Warp Gate was delayed because of the Stargate. We have a Void Ray on the way. The Void Ray is great and all, but again, it's not out in time. Shield battery starts. Oracle is killing workers across the map, but who cares because eGGz is in the main. Is this game? Oh my god, the Lings get in, probes are falling left and right, roaches are trickling in as well, and sure, we are about to have a single Void Ray, but one Void, it's gonna take too long. It's gonna take far too long. It's it. The pylons are going down, and the Lings get into the main. Oh my god, they're focusing down the pylon as well. There's only gonna be one Void Ray. That's it. And with that, the Stargate is now depowered. One Void Ray is everything that Pacomike has to defend. The probes were actually right-clicked on the Stargate there for a moment. It's also some missed micro. And Pacomike will eventually clean all of this up. But by the time he does, he's going to have 0 probes. There's going to be nothing left. Exclamation mark for Nada. Pacomike being a little bit too greedy. GG gets called. And eGGz takes game number 2. We are going to our ace match. Again, Curious Minds is a great map for early rushes like that. That's why Queen Walks was so popular on Curious Minds. And just cut out the Queen. And just cut that out. Just go Lings and Roaches. That's all you need. That's all you need. Pacomike, the way that he should have scouted that, as he did have 2 Adepts across the map, he did try to shade into the main, and he prioritized the main. He should have shaded towards the mineral line at the natural, and there he would have seen the lack of workers. He would have seen the lack of drones, and that would have been his tell, because eGGz was working on a very low worker count. And with that, we should have seen the commencement of shield batteries, and maybe even a full wall off as well, because we had 0 shield battery. We had nothing. There was nothing there. Oh god! And Overcharge is a good unit. Overcharge is pretty good. GG. Well played. Well played. Now we are going into game number 3. This could go either way. The map is going to be Glittering Ashes, a much larger map, a longer rush distance, but because it's so large, it means, you know, certain things can't be scattered. Maybe they won't be scattered. Oh boy. See if now took an attack. Yikes. Yikes. I mean. Oh. That was quite a game. Quite a game. Alright. eGGz, he was just getting ready. He was just getting some water. Make sure you hydrate everyone. And here we go. Game number 3. Glittering Ashes. Not a bad map for Pacomike to go into a fast fleet beacon. Just saying. He used to be famous for it. Could he do it again? In current patch. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Let's go. One Void Ray in a dream. Alright, here we go. Oh. We are diving into our ace match, game number 3 between these two players, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have our Colombian Zerg player representing Infernales Esports. It is eGGz. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Glittering Ashes, we have our Mexican Protoss player representing his brand new team, Team Super. It is Pacomike. Paquito, let's go. Again, I'm torn when it comes to who I want to win this series. I would be happy if either one. They both deserve to be in the semifinals, so it's a bit of a shame that only one of them will be able to advance on to get there. Which one will it be? I do think I favor Pacomike in the late game if we get there. That's the thing. If we get there, if we get to late game, if we get to Sky Toss, if we have, you know, our Golden Armada, our Paco Armada, if you will, I do kind of favor Pacomike a little bit more in that scenario. But it's about getting there, and if Pacomike wants to get there as well. So we'll see how the early game and the mid game goes here. I have to keep a closer eye on the drone count of eGGz. It would be very bold of him to go for another all-in game 3. I don't think it's a wise choice to do so on a larger map like this. If we were on Berlingrad or even Hardwire, I'd be sure, go for it. But on Glittering Ashes, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Not feeling too confident about that one, but we'll see. So far, the openers have been pretty standard. Hatch gas pool from eGGz, so quite a standard opener here, pulling out of gases as well, so he's not going to be retaining that gas for an early Roach Warren or anything like that. He is pulling out, so just for link speed for the time being. I just saw we have danger signs here on the edge of the map. What? What? Is it so you don't walk off into lava? Maybe? I guess? Question mark? And just have some railings. Okay. So it's the little things. It's the little things. Speaking of the little things, Pacomike is opening up with his own Stargates. Okay, makes sense. We are on a larger map, so you can get away with this. And yeah, we should be able to get into a longer game here. There is no early Roach Warren. eGGz is going for a third base on time as well. So any kind of like Ling Flood or Roach in just isn't really possible from here. So Pacomike won't straight up die, thankfully. Thankfully. As we'll see if he goes for a Void Ray first or an Oracle. He goes for the Void Ray, interesting. So a little bit more concerned with killing the Overlords. And this tells us that behind this, he may even go for a Twilight Council. Like, whatever it is, he wants to keep it hidden from eGGz. Meanwhile, eGGz is making a wave of Lings here. The Lings are, of course, going to help deny any kind of third base. Speaking of, Pacomike is going for that third, so we'll see if he can keep it up as the Lings are coming across the map. At the same time, the Adepts do get into the natural base. Are they going to get a drone kill? Maybe 2. Yep, they do get 2, but only 2. And again, this means that these Adepts aren't across the map to help defend this third. Ooh. Immediately cancelled. Nice moves here from eGGz. So, again, he does lose 2 drones, but for a third cancel, like, well worth it. Well worth it. Now he's going to be able to patrol the third base of Pacomike, force him to stay on 2 bases. There's no shield battery behind this, so he can force his way through this Adept. Ooh. As it barely isn't killed, forces Pacomike to throw down another pylon behind this. So I love this aggression, this Ling aggression by eGGz. He's just forced Pacomike to be so uncomfortable. Even here, Pacomike's trying to take a third, and eGGz is just, he's here to stop him every single time. So great moves here. And behind this eGGz, he should be droning up freely. Like his drone count still isn't amazing. Why isn't it amazing? Well, he made all these Lings, right? You gotta trade larva for larva. Trades the drones for the Lings, but he will be able to drone up freely here. But there's something scary that's happening. it's amazing that eGGz has been able to delay this third base so often. And oh my god. Can he do it again? Hold on, does he have enough DPS? Oh my god. Almost, but not quite, not quite. Pacomike finally gets his third. But what's scary is that Pacomike is going for charge. This is not standard at all. Going for a Twilight Council behind that Void Ray. It is not for Glaive Adepts, it is not for Blink Stalkers. We've seen Pacomike do this before, and this can hit very hard. Of course, he needs a couple more gateways for this, but so far this has gone unscouted, and this may just end the game. What's terrifying, as we do see a stasis trap going off, and again hindering the economy of eGGz even more, there's no Roach Warren and there's no Bailey Nest. There is no good way to deal with all these charge lots. eGGz is going straight into a Spire for Mutas. Like, he's taking every single one of his gases, so he's going Ling Muta. And Ling Muta is okay, but it takes a while to really get going, and I feel like Pacomike is going to hit faster. We'll see. War Prism is on the way. As soon as the War Prism gets across the map, we're going to see a massive warping of Zealots, and Pacomike is just going to go for it. Spire is just finishing up, and we do have enough resources for up to 7, there we go, 5 mutas. Soon to be a couple more. There we go, 6, and then soon 7. But I'm still worried. We have Charge Lot Archon, mate. Ay. Charges have been revealed. Yo, Pacomike, he's gonna go. Roach Warren gets thrown down immediately. Like, as soon as eGGz saw charge, he starts the Roach Warren. That's what I mean. This response is late. This scout is late. And eGGz has to rely on mutas to slow this down and to deal with this. Thankfully, there's only one Archon. Never mind, there are 2 Archons. If we see a 3rd Archon, I don't know, buddy. Oh, God. Maybe the magic box can be real, and maybe eGGz can defend with his mutas. I'll be very impressed if he does. There we go, the mutas, they dive on top of the warp prism. Oh my god, they dive on top of the prism and they deny the warp in. eGGz does it. He survives. This isn't the best trade for eGGz. He's losing a couple of mutas, but if that warp in happened, he would have lost everything at this third. 100%. This third, the drones at least at this third would have completely died. So that was a massive pick off there for eGGz. And now he he can breathe easier. He can go across the map. He has the map control. Phoenixes are on the way, but there's only one Phoenix. And soon there's about to be no Phoenix. Oh, barely survives. But it is not long for this world. Never mind. Mutas trying to chase it down at the same time. We see a massive Ling run by here at the 3rd base. Pacomike is in position though. He will be able to clean this up. And the game will go on. That was pretty close though, I'll be honest. If eGGz didn't dive on top of the prism and shut it down, this would have been a completely different game. But here we go. Mutas, for the time being, they reign supreme. He's getting ready to transition into roaches on the ground as well. He knows that a mass muta may not be the answer. And he's getting his 4th up and running as well. We could do with some more drones, but I mean, eGGz is droning up behind this, while he keeps Pacomike busy at home. I'm a little bit concerned that eGGz may throw away a little bit too much here, but we'll see. He's getting set up for another run by, and Pacomike is waiting for it. I love the wall here at the 3rd as well. Beautiful. And eGGz, he's not stopping with the muta production. Okay. I think this is kind of okay, especially because there's only a single Stargate. I don't think Pacomike is taking the mutas as seriously as he should. Like, sure, there are Blink Stalkers and Archons with the main army, but the fact that he didn't throw down a 2nd Stargate means that, honestly, like, the chase potential isn't that high. Like, the swarm of mutas, it's getting terrifying right now. Oh. Okay, but you know what? The Phoenixes, they're not alone. They have some Blink Stalkers. Doesn't matter though. The mutas, they take out the Stalkers, they take out the Phoenixes. This is what I mean. Like, you know, a single Stargate with a single Phoenix, like, mate. Pacomike, you gotta respect the mutas because the mutas are going wild here. At the same time, eGGz tried to push in with his ground army, but he was pushed away. And this may just force Pacomike all in. Yeah, he's just gonna A-move his whole army across the map. He knows that he cannot deal with all these mutas. Not with what he has. He does send some Stalkers back home, and he will force the Mutas back. Meanwhile, the charge onto Hero across the map. Where are the Banelings? We don't have any. But the Roaches may just be enough anyway. Yeah, there are so many Roaches, and sure, the Immortals dishing out a lot of damage, but the Mutas are coming back home, looking to intercept, and they get the Warp Prism again! The second Warp Prism! They did not have the Warp in! Oh my god! eGGz, he's doing it! He forced the counterattack, and he just shut it down! The counterattack did nothing! And that Phoenix count was reset, by the way. It was completely reset. Pacomike, please, not like this. Oh, God. And the Mutas are going to pull him entirely apart. The Archons need to respond to the Mutas. Roaches looking to hit the natural. Thankfully for Pacomike, they're warbling Stalkers here in the main base. But no, the Archons! With the death of the Archons, then the Mutas aren't going to have anything to worry about. And just like that, the Archons are being focused down. They're being targeted down by the Roaches. And now the Mutas reign supreme. Blink Stalkers are not good enough. Nowhere near good enough to deal with all these Mutas. And this is just far too much. GG gets called, and eGGz does it. He takes down the Mexican Protoss, and he moves on to the semifinals. Wow. GG. Well, that was so close, by the way. Like, eGGz was playing on a knife's edge there, with how he was going into those Mutas, and it paid for itself. Like, it was a risk, and it worked out for him. GG. Well played. Also, to be fair, after the Mutas were initially revealed, Pacomike should have thrown down a second Stargate and a Fleet Beacon to go into Phoenix range. Like, I think he thought that it was only going to be a harassing force. He didn't believe that there were going to be as many Mutas as there were. Part of that is also because he was a little bit lax with his scouting. So he didn't confirm the flock of Mutas. So he didn't know how seriously to take it. That's the thing. The problem is that if you go Mutas and you only make like 7, and if the Protoss player overreacts, then the Protoss player is behind. And if they underreact, they're behind as well. Like, scouting is so important. It is so important in this scenario, to recognize how much you have to invest in these Phoenixes. And yeah, GG.